Hello, good morning, good afternoon to everybody out there. We're the Payoff Pitch. We're powered by BetUS, a fantastic sports book. Go in this video description, grab that link, and go over there and check them out. I'm, of course, Jason. He's, of course, the Hockey Squirrel. Appreciate you guys kicking off a Monday with me here as we got a little MLB slate to kind of go ahead and talk our way through and hopefully cash some bets as well. But first of all, let's see what's going on with the Squirrel. What's up, man? How was your weekend? All that good jazzy stuff. How was it?
I'm curious where D-Gent is. Where's the woodworker? We won the Stanley Cup, my guy. I had that as a play last night, so kind of my Super Bowl, if you will, is over and done with now. So that is the official end of the hockey season. But I have to say, baseball has been going quite well for me. Also, man, I had a profitable day, a pretty profitable weekend.
Love that.
Yesterday, I think it's the last 3 days in a row. I've been one play away from a sweep every day, and it's been pissing me off. Yesterday, I had the worst brutal beat ever.
Oh, share! I love a good beat. We've all experienced.
I haven't told you this yet. So I had I started out with the day great. Reds Giants over 8, cashed in like the third or fourth inning, no problem. Colorado Avalanche cashes. I'm sitting there sweating. Game's going 4 hours. We're in the 11th inning of the Braves.
man. What were you on that made it beat?
I had the Atlanta Braves. I was winning 2-0. Nobody on base. 2 outs, 2 strikes. I was a strike away from winning that game with nobody on base.
Brutal.
Dodgers tied it 2-2. Then it went into the 10th inning, 3-3. 11th inning, 5-3, and we lost. So, unreal.
Because you were on the heels of that brutal Astros comeback, or the Yankees comeback when you were on that Astros money line on Thursday. You had a really tough beat Thursday night, too. Tough stuff right there.
Yep, but in that same day, I got that Mariners walk-off win or whatever with the wild pitches, and they didn't even get an RBI, and they won the game. I don't know how you would. I don't know. Anyway.
Right.
It goes both ways, man.
Let's see how my weekend went. Boy, we got, what we got? We got a gift from the sports host. We got Blue Jays versus Chichi Gonzalez yesterday, and an FI team total of 2.5. Like, we always get 2.5s. We bet them a ton on the show. Like, what? Against the Blue Jays offense and Chichi Gonzalez? We got a first inning cash, Squirrel. How awesome was that? A first inning cash. Now, let's ignore the fact that they only got 3 runs that whole game and ended up being not a sweat. I mean, you had a cash in the first period, or first inning, but wow, that was really wild right there. So that was a good cash for us over the weekend. How about our boy Mitch Keller, the cash cow? He came through over 4.5 strikeouts there on Friday night against the Rays. That one felt really good. So the only thing that didn't feel good, we turned a profit Saturday, we turned a profit Sunday. I went 2 for 10 on we may want to, let me hold on before you get that coffee out of your mouth. I gave out those 12 bets on Friday, went 2 for 10. I got crushed. Crushed. So, brutal stuff right there. Absolutely brutal. We got the chat open as always, guys. Make sure you go ahead and jump in there. Let us know how your weekend was. Let us know what you're thinking on this fine Monday slate. We're going to do things a little bit different. We try and mix it up from time to time, keep it interesting. There's 9 games today. So, instead of doing 9 innings of our normal rundown, let's just talk all 9 games. And, of course, if there's a pitching prop within that game we'll bring it up. If there's a team total or whatever, we'll just kind of bring it up. So let's do something a little bit different today. With that being said, let's just go through the games. We'll kind of go through them in order. We've got the Athletics and the Yankees kicking off the night. It's in New York. We've got Blackburn versus Montgomery. What did you think of this game when you kind of looked at it?
So initial thoughts is I'm always going to like some of these Athletics pitchers, man. So you have Blackburn. Do I think he gives you a legitimate chance at winning the game? Not really. But is there something there that you could get onto for some kind of pitching prop? I would look at it. I don't know. I see that there's some sharp action coming in on Oakland Athletics. I guess, upsets do happen, but there's no way in hell I'd be taking like a full game. If you were going to, it'd be some kind of crazy first 5, but I don't want to stick my neck out for it. So if there's some kind of pitching prop, I know you're a little bit more into props than I am. Is that interesting to you, Paul Blackburn?
I couldn't do Paul Blackburn. Boy, we've been doing his under 3.5 Ks. We've gotten a couple cashes. We had a couple heartbreakers there, most recently against the Red Sox. I had this, and you were the one that had the idea of let's just talk about all 9 games, which is obviously fine. I had this game originally in my 7th inning. This was originally my best bet, and it's that Athletics-Yankees F5 under 4.5 runs at -110. Love everything about this. You've got 2 offenses that are scuffling. Yankees right now aren't doing a very good job versus right-handed. 27th in batting average, 17th in on base, middle of the park in slugging and on base plus slugging. So just kind of scuffling right there. And I like Blackburn. We followed him really closely in doing that the pitching prop, the K prop that I mentioned. I feel like we have a good handle of who he is, and I think he can be good through your first 2 times, through a rotation with the combined factor of the Yankees just struggling. And if the Yankees have a little bit of success, I'm not expecting the Athletics to have much success at all. 27th in batting average versus left-handers, 27th in on-base percentage, 30th in slugging. It's bottom of the barrel versus left-handers. And you get Montgomery. Both of these guys are sporting a 2.97 ERA, both of them with a whip just above 1. I mean, 2 really good pitches, 2 offenses that are struggling, 1 offense that is just really, really struggling. I think runs are going to be hard to come by in the early portion of this game. Yankees coming off that tough series there against the Astros. I like the F5 to have under 4.5 runs at -110. That's what I was kind of looking at in that game. No prop, but that angle.
Yeah, this is what I like about collaborating, definitely, is like I'm so fixated on money lines and whatnot. I'm like who's gonna win, and then you say something like that makes so much more sense, and I'm like, yep, that is the correct play. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just definitely is, about collaborating and looking at it from different angles. And yeah, I would have to agree. If you're gonna play something that kind of is, it's backing the starting pitching essentially, and also fading the 30th out of 30 offense in the Oakland Athletics. They're not even at home. They're awful. It's so bad. I mean, it's like a 150 batting average, something. I mean, seriously, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're really, it's going to be a one-sided game. So if there's going to be a lot of runs, it's going to be on the side of the Yankees, and I don't see Blackburn allowing it.
He doesn't do it. I mean, look at his game log against the Red Sox. He kept them quiet, and that was a time when the Red Sox were coming in fairly hot. And there's other, examples in his game log. Now, I like this kid Blackburn. Know him a good bit. Yeah. All right, let's move over now. Or do you want to skip this game? I didn't handicap this one at all because the Pirates don't have a starter, so I don't know how you handicap it. It's Pirates versus Nationals. I mean, unless you just want to bag on Fetty real quick.
I don't know if it's going to be the starter. I'm seeing a brand new name I've never seen, Osvaldo Bido, something. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never seen the guy before.
Okay.
Complete call up. Never. So it'll be an MLB debut if it is him. I'm getting the information off of RotoWire for their MLB projections. It would be a righty versus righty matchup. I don't know. I mean, kid's been in Iowa. Never even touched the MLB. So if you're going to put that against Juan Soto and Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, maybe we start looking at an over if you're putting Fetty on the other side of things there.
Yeah.
Probably the only play in that game. I don't know how else he'd really do it unless he wanted to take Washington to absolutely beat up on that new pitcher in the Pirates. That's -130. Not the worst price in the world. Couldn't find any reason to back the Pirates, though. So probably an over in some capacity.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I didn't handicap that at all. Just removed it from my time with no starting pitcher. I hearing what you're saying, I agree, right? If you got Fetty on the mound, you kind of lean towards an over. I don't like when pitchers make their debut in terms of guys having success, but doesn't mean that the Nationals can't get it done. They're about middle of the pack versus right-handers, so maybe they get it done. So a lean to the over like you, but yeah, no real time spent on that game. Let's move it along now. You got Red Sox versus Blue Jays. Got a real good matchup here going on in the AL East. I'll go ahead and take this one. I was going to talk about this one in the second inning. Look, I think this Red Sox team total and the F5 is just hung too low. It's at 1.5 at -115. Again, it's only over 1.5 runs of that F5. Red Sox offense comes in hot versus right-handers, second in batting average, first in on-base percentage, eighth in slugging, third in on-base plus slugging, second in K percentage, so they're not striking out, about middle of the pack there in walk percentage with 13. And you're getting Gausman. He's allowed 5 straight opponents to have 2 or more runs through the first 5 innings, so like that trend to continue. And in those 5 that he's allowed straight. You include the Orioles and Tigers, two teams that we like to back when there's left-handers on the mound. We don't like to back them when they're right-handers on the mound, and they were able to get 2+ runs against Gausman. And Boston, admittedly, they've seen him 2 times this season. They have done nothing. 14 innings pitched, 1 run combined in those 2 starts. I'm looking for some little bit of regression now. Gausman isn't this guy that can motor through a top offense consecutive times in a row, so now this is going to be his 3rd time. I only need to see 2 runs. He's allowed it 5 straight. Hot offense coming into town in the Blue Jays and the Rogers Center. I'll take that Red Sox F5 team total over 1.5 runs. How did you see this matchup?
Mostly due to the, well, I guess it's not an MLB debut, but he's only got 3 MLB innings.
Yeah.
Just something I love to fade. And it doesn't matter the sport for me. It's especially if you're finding an NHL goalie that's making a debut, the shot quality, it's just, and the velocity, it's harder. It's the kind of the ticky-tack. I mean, there's things that they're going to see that they're not used to, right? You go from the minors and you make the big step up to the MLB, and you're going against Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette and all these, MLB quality guys. It would scare me to and you're not saying that the Red Sox have to win the game by any means. Kevin Gausman is a guy that I really do still like. And this may be just, my previous opinions of like watching him last year and stuff, which I know we tried to get that out of the current season.
Mm-hmm.
But to go against an MLB debut, essentially, for the Toronto offense, for the fact that they're at home, I think I would have to maybe put a little something on the run line for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay, all right. You think the Blue Jays can get it done. Yeah, you like that angle. That's that angle that I generally stay away from. That's fine. We're both handicapping this game, I just don't like that angle. That's why I say I'll at least focus on what I know, right? I know Gausman's doing this, Red Sox are doing this, so that's kind of what I focus on right there. All right, good stuff. I'm not ignoring you when I'm looking over to the left. I've got a lot of Wimbledon bets out this morning, and I am just glued to this tablet over here watching Wimbledon, so not ignoring your analysis. We've got amazing comebacks right now. Oh, I love this Wimbledon action, so good stuff. If you're tailing those Wimbledon bets in the chat, let me know if you're sweating with me as guys are making we just hit a match that's in the 5th set. I love it. All right, let's keep it moving and going here, though. Let's look at this Twins versus Indians game. Hey, I like an F5 over in this game, too. You've got 2 guys on the mound here in Gray versus McKenzie, who just faced each other 5 days ago. In that game, the total score was 11-10. Within that game, obviously, if there's 21 runs, the F5 went over. I like it. I'm going to play it a little safe. You can do over 4.5 runs, and you can get it at plus money over on BetUS. But I went with a different angle and went for a little bit of juice at -115 and got the tie option at over 4. So just give me over 4 runs in that F5, and it's at -115. Really just playing the angle of you got average offenses. It's not like these offenses are scuffling, so we don't have to worry about that. All offenses are,
They're
average.
Both pretty decent.
I was going to say average.
Last 14, Cleveland's top 5 in batting average.
Yeah, they're good. So I like that obviously, but I'm more just playing into hey, these pitchers just went at it 5 days ago, same opponent, same everything. Nothing's going to be surprising these hitters. Everything. So that's right. My angle. So I like the over in that game. If you want to play a full game over. Sure. I just removed the bullpens, right? I'm making this bet because of starters, so I always gravitate towards the F5. How did you see your Twins taking on the Guardians today?
It really is kind of 50-50 looking, especially against the right-handed pitching matchup. I don't know if there's really a major clear-cut advantage for one side or the other. Looks like they kind of go back and forth between being slightly better in one thing or the other. But in terms of offense, it's really pretty even. So are you going to, for a coin flip type game, which is how I would see it more so, I don't think you have a significant edge one way or the other, whether it's pitching or batting. I don't think you really can pick a team with any great decisiveness. Mm-hmm. And for the offenses being, I would say, upper half. They're not totally middle of the road, but they're not absolutely top tier, I don't think. So an over is an interesting play. I don't think I would trust an under. I would follow you in that.
You like that? Okay, cool. Yeah, that to me is a game that I think is really tough to pick a winner. I think you either just bet the over
Absolutely.
or you just stay away.
Because I would lean my Twins, but at -125, where's your value if you're kind of expecting 50-50, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
you're paying juice on a coin flip, and that's a non-profitable proposition long term. So it's just nothing that I would feel actually comfortable. But what would the price even be of? I'm missing my sports book here. So
For what, the
what's the
money line?
Guardian price? The Guardian's money line. Is it plus money?
It's probably a tick. It can't be that much. Let's see. It's plus 105 on BetUS. Plus 105. So
So very like thin shred of value potentially on Guardians. So yeah, I would just go full game for myself over 8.
okay,
I'll
cool.
take that.
All right, we see that one in an agreement. Let's see if we can agree on the Marlins versus Cardinals. Lopez versus Wainwright. I think Lopez is certainly the better pitcher than Wainwright, but boy, is that guy crafty, and he generally can keep a game low scoring. This is the dilemma here. You're going to take this Marlins offense that can't really get timely hitting. They seem to want to show up versus right-handers though, and you get Wainwright on the mound. Although he just wiggles out of stuff. Lopez is the better guy. Not a game I bet, a game I stayed off of. I don't like fading the Cardinals offense. That's not something I enjoy doing. I think Lopez is worthy of that, but that's not something I enjoy doing. They remain a top 10, top 12 offense all season long, so I'm not going to touch that. Could you touch on the Marlins maybe F5? Could you do an F5 under? Sure. I think Cardinals pull it out just because their offense is better, bullpen's better. Nothing I can really bet.
Yep.
What about for you?
No. Again, it kind of would analyze it the same type of way as the Twins and the Guardians. You know what I mean? Like, I just think if there's maybe a thin shred of value, it would be on the Marlins. I don't know what the first 5 line is on it, but Pablo Lopez is, I think, the guy to back. But it's scary again to go against Wainwright, isn't it?
Yeah. Not doing that.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, where can you get in on this game? You might be stretching for some kind of player prop or something. And even at that, oh my God. I mean, over 4.5 strikeouts for Lopez and you're -175. It's like, again, just you don't have to bet every single game. And this is one of those where it's like,
if you did want it, that is your one angle, and I was going to say it. But the Cardinals are currently striking out 5th most versus right-handers. So if you want to back Lopez, hell, he's burned us enough when we've taken unders. This is a good spot maybe to take a Lopez on an over prop. It's juicy. Maybe you jump over to another book where you can get an alternate line and just go right to 6. The Cardinals are striking out a lot, but that's just some things you just feel uncomfortable when you place the bet. Like I would feel uncomfortable fading that Cardinals offense to any capacity, even if it is a strikeout. It'd make me uncomfortable. So they put too much money in our pocket. I can lay off them for a day. I'm sure they'll get some slappy on the mound there for the Marlins because, well, that's not. Oh, you know what they've been doing? And be careful. They've been throwing Lopez with Garrett in the middle and then Alcantara. Let's see if we can fade Garrett because he's usually on a short leash because they'll give Lopez and Alcantara like all the leash and they'll say we'll save our bullpen for when this young kid, our young stud's up, Garrett, and they work him with baby gloves. So let's bookmark this game tomorrow and see if we can't fade Garrett, maybe an outs prop or a K prop because he just doesn't last that long in these games.
You know what I'm loving, Jason, is how many like new people we constantly are having in this chat. It's awesome, just like reading things and seeing all these people say good morning. It's like I don't know, man. It's just kind of like makes our day like fun to wake up and see all these people like wait and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, I've said it enough. The comments in there are they bring the energy. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
All right. Here we go, folks. What did we do last Monday? Bubic is on the mound. Bubic is on the mound this Monday. It's like tempting to take my money, folks. You've got the Rangers. They're taking on the Royals. 2 left-handers on the mound. And Perez, Bubic. Are we going to do it again? Are we going to back Bubic? I can't do it, but this was my long shot of the day, folks, I will say. And I also was going to look at it from a K prop. So I like the Royals today at plus 120. Just look at left-handed numbers, what they're doing versus left-handers. They are doing it better. albeit not a whole lot better than the Rangers, but across the board, every number does in favor of the Royals. Again, you got Bubik. We know he's on a nice roll, right? We tailed him last week to a good cash. Perez, he can put up some good numbers. Perez is really good in his own right. So I think starting pitching goes to the Rangers for an advantage. But if Bubik wants to do what he's done on this roll, okay, now you got no advantage, I don't think, from a starting pitching. And then once we get into these two bullpens, it's kind of a race of who can get to those arms. You got the Rangers bullpen certainly better than the Royals bullpen, but again, it's not a whole lot. Maybe if you don't want to think that the pick a winner because the starting caliber and the left-handedness there of the Royals, you can go to maybe Bubic over 4.5 Ks at plus money, cashed in his last 3 starts. Granted, that's all it's cash is in his last 3 starts, but it's cash. And the Rangers currently have the 3rd highest K percentage right now versus left-handers at 30.6%. The only trouble there, which is why I couldn't pull the trigger on actually placing this bet, they've only got 45 at-bats in the last 10 days versus left-handers. So it was a small enough sample size where is that a real number of being a really high K percentage? Or if we were to throw another 40 more at-bats on that, would that maybe come back down to where the Rangers are? They've never really been at the top of this strikeout since we've been looking at them all season. So just enough to put me off of that small sample size. But I would sprinkle maybe a little bit on the Royals today as my best long shot of the day. How did you like this Rangers versus Royals matchup?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It is my top play of the entire day, and I gave it out to members yesterday, my members anyway, at a nice minus 126 price on FanDuel. Was the best line, and that was sent out last night at like 5 p.m. Reason being, when I saw it, quite obviously Chris Bubich, yes, but from a quality start perspective, you have Martin Perez, who is the team is 9-2 when he has a quality start, and the dude's full of quality starts. Obviously, if he's had 11 of them, it's a much more trustworthy pitcher than you're going to get ever out of Chris Bubich. The dude I don't like. I think he's terrible. Maybe personal thing, but again, when you look at the surface numbers, right? A 7.4 ERA to a 1.96. How do you not immediately love that off the bat? Speaking of off the bat, as you already touched on, yes, it is a very closely contested numerical matchup, right? And they are not, versus left-handers, there's not really a huge discrepancy one way or the other. Even if the Royals are a tick better, I'm okay with taking the Rangers for the significant starting pitcher edge, and I like Perez from really both a trend standpoint and a statistical standpoint of what he's already accomplished and what I expect him to continue to. Even if the Rangers aren't as good against left-handers, you're getting a much higher quality left-handed pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
The Royals bullpen after Bubich gets crushed and comes out, it has gotten better, but it's still not great, right? I mean, this was like a top 2 worst bullpen for quite some time, for a few weeks. It has actually gotten a little better, so they are more middle of the road here recently, but I still would not trust the Kansas City Royals bullpen in any capacity. So that's my view on it. But
sounds like the 29 people watching this broadcast also agree with you. I've seen a lot of the Rangers love in that chat, so nobody's on board with the Royals. I didn't bet it. I just was throwing.
Well, the line's moving my direction, right? I mean, if I nailed it minus 126 and we're over minus 140 at the moment, or at minus 140 now, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So
I would feel really good because I think you know what you're going to get with Perez. With Bubik, you're like hoping he can stay on a good roll. You're like, please just give me one more good start. Whereas Perez, like, you know what you're going to get. You're probably going to get that quality start that you mentioned. So I think backing the Rangers is certainly the better of the two plays. All right, let's move over now to the Dodgers and Rockies. This one's going to be played in Denver. Tyler Anderson's taking on Chad Kuhl. This was one of the bet that
Dodgers made me so mad yesterday. I hate the Dodgers right now, man.
This game got my money, and it got my money in an F5 perspective. Over 6.5 runs at even money. I know that's a big number, obviously over 6.5 in the F5, but I think these offenses can get there. Listen to what these Dodgers are doing versus right-handers. First, second, first, 16th, and 14th. That's batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, and on-base plus slugging. and then middle of the pack there in strikeouts and walkouts. Rockies versus left-handers. First. Batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, and on-base plus slugging. First. Middle of the pack in K, ninth in walks. Oh, two hot offenses in Denver where we know the ball just jumps off bats and ends up in the stands. Sign up for that all day long. Tyler Anderson, he's having a good season. I mean, just quite frankly, he's having a good season. And Chad Kuhl, he's having a decent season in his own right. The Rockies get the advantage of seeing, though, Tyler Anderson. They saw him back on April 9th. He pitched good against them. Again, Tyler Anderson's having a good season. But I can't ignore the game being played in Denver. I can't ignore basically the best offense versus right-handers right now versus the best offense versus left-handers right now going at it. I can't ignore it. So give me the two hot offenses in Denver. I like the F5 over 6.5. How'd you see this game?
Same. I mean, so there's two ballparks in the MLB that bother me for totals. Number one is the Giants, Oracle Park, right? In San Francisco. The lines are consistently, they seem too low, and they're always, more often than not, for a reason. And generally, what do you see for a line at Oracle Park? 8, generally, for what I can tell. At the Rockies at Coors Field, what do you see for a line? 11 or 12, generally. And a lot of times they go over, or they're pretty damn close. You get 9, 10, 11 runs if your line is 11, 11 and a half, 12. It's for a good reason. Either way, you see that high total, and I think what you're going to receive as a sports book, if you're setting the line there, is this general public getting afraid of, oh my God, we're not going to see 13 runs. That's going to be a public under all the time. And I've seen it over and over and over. Like, dude, 13 really, that's just, why is the line set so high? And there's good reason for it. If you ever question, why is this line set so low? It's only 6. It's only 6.5. Probably a pretty good reason. I've done this in hockey as well. Why is this line set so low? Why is this line set so high? Generally in those cases, and it's not 100% win rate because nothing is.
Right.
But yes, you're getting a squad in the Rockies that crushes left-handers season long. They're number 1 for batting average and every other measurable metric. You're putting them against a left-hander at home at altitude with a line set that high. And obviously the Dodgers, you have to expect runs. So yes, taking over. Why wouldn't you?
And our woodworker just chimes in with something I didn't realize, but back in 2019 was his last season with the Rockies. So I don't know how many of these Rockies have been on that team since 2019, but they'll even be familiar with Tyler.
They may
Anderson.
know him.
Yeah, they know him.
Right.
So, all right, good stuff right there. Let's move over now. We got the White Sox and the Angels. The only thing I'll mention about this game that I thought you could find an angle is Giolito over his Ks. I would bet the over. I certainly lean full game over. But I think Giolito also has a chance to go over his Ks. The Angels just strike out a ton versus right-handed pitching. So Giolito is a kind of pitcher that I think gets rocked. He throws up a lot of rockets that can actually get destroyed. You can rock him, but in the process, he'll usually rack up the Ks. So while I lean the over in that game, if you want a prop for that game, take Giolito over his Ks. What about for you in White Sox Angels?
Yeah. I think I would have been more comfortable on the Angels at a lower price. I'm sure they were at a lower price yesterday. I remember at least seeing them under minus 130, if not minus 130. Line has moved now to minus 140, much like the Rangers. I do like the Rangers better for the same or equal price. I think I would lean Angels, though, just to back Syndergaard and fade Giolito anyway, much like you were talking. I think the expectation there is a higher likelihood of him to get rocked.
Also, don't forget, I'm looking it up real quick, so I think the number is 3. I just want to make sure I give out the exact number, so give me half a second here. It was 1, 2, 3. 3 stolen bases off Syndergaard. Remember that one time we tried to pick? We just picked wrong, but there were still stolen bases in that game. If there's a White Sox, like a Tim Anderson, top of your lineup kind of guy, gets on base, swipes the bags. Syndergaard, for whatever reason, I haven't caught a game, but guys just stealing bags off him consistently. He's still number 1 in terms of stolen bases allowed. You could also look to maybe like a Tim Anderson kind of guy to maybe take a bag off of Syndergaard throughout the course of this game. That could be a nice, good. Those are good, like usually plus 300 cashes. So that could be a nice, good one for you guys.
What shirt are you wearing over there? What do you got?
I got the Birds today.
Oh, are you on them?
What's the last game? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about these Orioles and Mariners right now. On them? Yeah, I got 2 bets on this game. I got 2 of them. Pitching props. Tyler Wells is on the mound. Tyler Wells. You guys know I found us that gym last time. Under 5.5 hits. Woo, what a good cat. What even a sweat. Only allowed 3 hits. Can't do that one, unfortunately. We've come to the party late on that one in terms of looking for another cash. It's minus 170. If you'd like to drop that in a parlay, I don't know if it's as good. Remember the Nationals were in the bottom 10 there in hit or batting average versus right-handers. Mariners, they're better. They're at 17, so not a whole lot better, but there's a better angle in this game with Tyler Wells. What about under 4.5 Ks? You know how many times this is cash, Squirrel?
I don't. 100%.
100%. All 14 of his starts.
Oh,
that's exactly right. All 14 starts. He's not had 5 Ks yet. You look at his game log, he's gone against teams that strike out, don't strike out. You go against 14 other opponents. Yeah, you're going to face the whole gambit in terms of strikeout. And the Mariners are no different. They're 13th in strikeout, sitting right there middle. I mentioned their batting average at 17. This guy's never hit 5 strikeouts. I think that shows that he just doesn't have good, deception on his pitches, and maybe doesn't have a ton of movement, and guys are picking him up late in the game. He probably is one of these guys, if you looked at his game log, comes out maybe quick strikeouts and then just kind of tails off, if I had to take a guess. So never not cash. Let's see if he can come through for the people again at under 4.5 Ks at minus 122. I like Tyler Wells also in another angle, and this one's at plus 150. Love this. What did we say last week when we took that under hits allowed? The guy has terrible controls, and he walks a ton of batters. What about over 1.5 walks at plus 150? Plus 150, I cannot say no to that. The Mariners had the 4th best walk percentage in Major League versus right-handers. 4th best. I think we're going to lean on that, just like the Nationals leaned on it, and they were able to drive up his pitch count, get 4 walks in that game. Don't be surprised if the Mariners, being 4th best in walk percentage, can at least draw a couple walks off Tyler Wells before he exits that game at plus 150. Sign me up. So I think I found us a good couple angles, even though our hits allowed in terms of making a single bet is unfortunately gone. What did you like in Mariners Orioles?
From a value perspective, from a value line that's on the entire board today, I think I would have to go with the Orioles at a plus 135, just feeling like I'm getting a little too much there. Okay. And the under 7.5 for, I don't know, I mean, I guess you had just mentioned as well, these are some high strikeout teams, right?
Middle of the pack for Mariners, but the Baltimore Orioles still strike out a ton.
Sure. And the numbers aren't awful, really, for the starting pitchers, to be honest. I don't expect, it's not like you're getting the Yankees, the Blue Jays, or, like the Braves, where you expect them to just crush the ball constantly. I would go with an under 7.5 and a Baltimore money line if I had to pick one or the other for valuable plays, I guess, for a value play. And a value play is something that is kind of like, you kind of don't care if it wins or not. You know what I mean? Like, not that you don't care. I don't know. How do you play? Like, you don't expect it to win, perhaps, but you just kind of know that you're getting over what it should be valued. Does that make sense?
Yep. You know what? I think you mentioned when you first talking, you would mention maybe the Orioles are worth a sprinkle. They're still not hitting right-handers, man. I would just say take the under, and I can't see the Orioles. Man, they just... I don't know about that.
I mean, the reason I also said, dude, they're getting 85% of the money right now on the Orioles money line.
Wow. This is coming off a nice series against the White Sox. People want to put merit and stock into that, so... all right, that is all 9 games. Let's go ahead and run through our bets. We've got some great comments here in the chat. Talk about guys stealing bases and what have you. Martin Perez, love plus money. Love that right there. All right, there's your bet. Or there's my bets. You're on that Rangers money line, minus 126. You mentioned that. Great value you got there. And as you said, now it's at minus 140. I've got a handful of bets. Let's run through these. Red Sox F5 team total over 1.5 runs at minus 115. Like those Dodgers Rockies F5 over 6.5 at even money. Like the Athletics and Yankees to stay under 4.5 runs in that first 5 innings at -110. Go ahead and give me Twins Guardians F5 over 4 at -115. And Tyler Wells, let's see if he can be cool to us again, staying under 4.5 Ks at -122. And also having over 1.5 walks at +150. I can't believe that. +150, I threw my money behind it and gladly will live with whatever result happens on that one. That's crazy to get that at +150. All right, so there it is. Those are the games today. We'll resume our normals. There's tons of games tomorrow. Actually, 16 games tomorrow. So we'll do our normal menu of pitching props and NRFIs and all that gambit tomorrow. Parlays. Hey, speaking of it, off the cuff, did you have a parlay? Let me look. Did you have a parlay? Let's end the show by each giving away a parlay.
Yeah,
people love the parlays.
One. Yeah, we'll make one. How about that? Let's see.
I'm cooking up a parlay for you guys. Hold on. Cooking one up.
I gotta be honest, I didn't realize it until we started the show, but our first game we covered with the Athletics and Yankees, that first 5 under you're on, I absolutely love. I really like that one. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Get on it. All right, one leg of my parlay is over 8.5 in White Sox Angels. That's going to be one leg of my parlay, and I'm going to parlay that with...
What about the White Sox Angels?
Just the under. I mean the over. Sorry, over 8.5.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get the people a parlay. I'm trying to cook up one other leg here. Just using money lines, run lines, and totals. Not trying to dig deep in F5s or props or any of that kind of stuff.
Okay, I will dig deep and do that because I feel like it. But I think I've got mine. I've definitely got mine. I'll go the over in so the over 11.5 in that Rockies game. And then I'll take the under 4.5 first 5 innings in the Oakland Athletics and the New York Yankees. That gives you a +272.
Love that bet. Love that Athletics Yankees under. Love it. Love what Blackburn's been doing. Athletics can't hit anything.
You love it, dude. You love it, though, dude.
All right, I'll just pair the Nationals. I'm pairing the Nationals money line with that over 8.5, and that's +209. Even though I know the Pirates don't have a starter, I'm going to take that Nats offense against some newbie here. So I'll back them. Yeah. All right, that's how we'll do it today. Again, we'll resume the normal show tomorrow. We'll have our normal rundown of all the menu items that, of course, you guys know and like. So we'll do that again tomorrow. We got a nice full slate of games. Just made it a little bit different. It was Monday. Everybody's always, sluggish on a Monday anyway. So there we have it right there. And I'm going to tail some of these bets here in the chat. So I got to get some more bets in. Thank you guys for those. Enjoy your Monday. Yeah. Let's come on back tomorrow. Again, full slate. We'll give you guys some winners on Tuesday. Enjoy your day. Thanks again.
Never buy anything built on a Monday, by the way. always buy some shit built on a Wednesday because Mondays and Fridays not good days.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.